Becoming a creator is the quickest, easiest way to get rich. You literally just pull out your iPhone, you take a couple pictures a day, and you post them every couple of hours and just watch the money roll in, so much so that you're going to be able to quit your job tomorrow and you will probably never have to work again. You have no idea what it means. If you have ever heard anyone tell you that, be running the other way. Does anyone else feel like they need a hot beverage on them at all times? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Shivani. If you are new here, or you can call me Shiv like all my friends do. I'm a content creator based out of Los Angeles, California. Today, I want to talk about if I were to redo this whole thing, all the things that I would do in my first month as a creator. So number one, I want you to take some time to seriously think about like what type of creator you want to be. And I don't mean like, do you want to be a lifestyle creator or a food creator? I more so mean like take some time to study things a little bit. Do you want to be more of a UGC creator? UGC stands for user generated content. I am a UGC creator, and what that means is that I create content for brands. Brands will typically send me the product or share their service with me, and then I will go ahead and do some filming for them and then go ahead and submit the final deliverables over to them, and they will actually post it on their page. So that means that a lot of the content and brand deals that I am doing, I'm actually never posting on my page. You could be a UGC creator. I will preface this by saying you could be a UGC creator, a TikTok shop creator, and an influencer all at once, right? So there are a lot of different options, but I just highly recommend taking some time to just kind of like study all the different options that there are. You don't have to decide right now, right? It is only week one. We are so early on, and I just want to say that it is okay if things change. For me, I was someone who, when I started, I was only posting on my personal account until I kind of fell into UGC and I started exploring doing both. But I feel like there's kind of different strategies for whether you are trying to grow a personal brand, maybe because you are an influencer. So there's some different strategies, right, in the way that you create content, the type of content that you create, and maybe even how often you're posting on your own page. Versus with UGC, you're working a lot more regularly with brands, and all that content is just going to their socials. And so I want you guys to think about that a little bit, because I kind of just remember at the very beginning, I wasn't really aware, I guess, of all the different verticals that were available to me. I just want to encourage anyone, even if you decide like that today you want to become a UGC creator, like allow yourself the space to be like, it is okay to change directions in a couple months if you're like, you're just not vibing with it. Like that is okay. That is life. Now, kind of, a couple of years forward, I am now a UGC creator. I post a lot of Amazon stuff on my personal brand pages as well, like my personal accounts on Instagram and TikTok. And then I also am a TikTok shop creator. So I actually have a whole separate account for TikTok shop. So you can do all of that. You could be an Amazon influencer. You could be a Snapchat creator. There are so many different ways and platforms to create content for and on these days. So that just kind of goes to say, make sure you do some research, but don't put so much pressure on yourself to try to figure it all out early on. Like these things will change. And as I'm sure some of you guys know, Instagram feels like it has a different vibe than TikTok. So kind of, lean into what kind of content are you having fun creating? Pay attention to those things. Okay, number two, I want you to start practicing right away. Do not wait until you get your first brand deal, because if you do, chances are the brand is going to approach you. You're going to be so excited that you got this deal. They're going to send you over a brief. They might start using terminology that you have no idea what it means, and you're probably going to be a little flustered, right? So the earlier you can start practicing this new skill that you are about to master, go for it. So just to give you some examples, if you are going the UGC route, I want you to literally start taking objects around your house and start making videos of them. Nothing fancy, right? But I want you to just get a feel of like learning about where the light is and which way you should put the product and which way your phone should point, just like little things like that. Also, when I did this, I will put some pictures right here of some of my first test shots. I was literally just taking things around my house. I was grabbing random backgrounds and zooming in. And I will say that the more and more and more I have done this, I feel like I'm always getting better. So don't be too hard on yourself if you're like, oh my gosh, I took this one really aesthetic photo or I made this one really aesthetic video and it literally took me 3.5 hours. It is likely going to take you a really long time the first time you do it, but that is the best part about it. As you master the craft, you are also going to get better and faster at it. So always be learning. Okay, now if you are going like the influencer route, you are working on growing your personal brand, you might not always be posting super product focused videos, for example, but let's say you're doing lifestyle content. Think about how you could still film you making coffee, but maybe there are some up close shots that you catch of like the mug you're using and the coffee that you're using. Little things like that are so good. Brands love when creators are able to organically place products in their content. And so those are just two different ways that you can go about practicing. But I just want to encourage you that you do not have to have an aesthetic home. You don't need to have the right super exciting product to get started. It can literally be with like a water bottle in your house. The lesson here is really to just start getting familiarized with settings on your phone, learning about the direction of light, taking close-up shots, taking shots from far away, playing with angles. Like, don't even worry about making money yet, right? This is just to kind of see, number one, do you like it? Is this something that you could see yourself doing? Or do you need to like mix it up? Maybe it's not just about, product focused things. Maybe it's a different style of kind of what I'm doing with you guys right now, which is what we call like talking head, where I am just talking to you guys straight to the camera, but maybe I'm holding up products. So you decide, but just want to say you have everything you need wherever you live to get started and start practicing, because I promise you in another year or two, you are going to be so happy that you started doing this right now. Okay, number 3, if you can, I would love for you to invest in some basic equipment. Like I am talking just a super affordable tripod, maybe a light, maybe a mic. You can see I have this one on right here. This is just like a magnet mic. I will also link some of my favorites down in the description below. But seriously, I say this because I used to do content when I first started. I didn't even have a tripod. I would literally have my phone like resting up against a mug or a water bottle and I would film. Now I feel like there are a lot more creators in the space than there were before. And so there's a lot of people who have gotten really good at editing and things like that. And I look back and I go, oh, I would love to reuse some of my old projects on other platforms. And I'm like, shoot, it is so shaky when I look back on it. So I say this not because it's an absolute must have because it's so early, but I say it because if I had a tripod day one, I think I would have considered it like a little bit of a shortcut in a way. Just when you start to get to that point where you are expanding on other platforms and you need to feed good content to all those other channels, it's always nice to have more than less. Like I said, a little clip-on light is super affordable. You can literally get like a tripod at Five Below. I saw them there the other day if you have one of those near you as well. And of course, Amazon. So I will make sure to just link it all there. But don't feel overwhelmed like you have to invest in all of the things all at once. Like I said, it is early. Just wanted to throw that little tip in there just because I know while we are kind of at the beginning of the creator economy still blowing up, I feel like there's room for everyone. I do feel like it's a little thing that I wish I had and someone would have told me right at the beginning. Tripod especially. You can always get away with just sitting in front of a window like I am. You can see I'm literally on the floor right now and you don't even need a fancy light. Okay, number 4, I really think that joining a community early on was one of the reasons why I just kind of propelled forward so fast. And for a couple of reasons, right? Being a content creator can be kind of lonely. You don't necessarily have coworkers. When you don't know how to do something, you literally have to Google it. You have to watch it on YouTube. Maybe if you're in a Facebook group, you're going to post a question and just hope that someone answers. If not, then crickets, which sucks, right? But I joined Brands Meet Creators about January of last year. And since I joined, I cannot believe that I didn't join sooner. Funny story, actually, I was thinking about joining for almost a whole entire year before that. And I was kind of hesitant because I was like, oh, that's kind of like an investment because there was a monthly fee. And I was like, I don't really know if I'm ready for it. But the money that I easily just made back in like basically my first month, I think, of joining, I was like, whoa, They had coaching calls. I was in like text groups with all these other creators, and it was so great to be able to kind of hear like what was like the path that was ahead of me, right? Creators who were more successful than me, creators who were had much bigger followings, creators who gave me advice on how to negotiate deals, who kind of gave me the intel on what brands that can be a little bit more difficult to work with or what ones are really great to work with. And on the flip side, it is also so nice. And I feel like it's so rewarding for me to go in and attend those coaching calls and to be able to help those newer creators that are on their journey. They also have like a free trial, I believe, or it's like a very affordable monthly fee. So I will also link that if you guys want to check that out as well. But seriously, just having access to coaches, to fellow creators, talking to people that are doing what you're doing and can understand all of the highs and lows that naturally come with what we do, that is going to help you out so much. I feel like some people talk about the value of a community, especially on TikTok. I see it a little bit here and there, but I feel like it's really not talked about enough. And I can just tell you, I mean, since I joined back in January, I was probably doing the most that I could possibly do at that point. I also still had my full-time job. You know, I would wake up early and I would stay up late and I would learn how to edit and I would pitch to brands, right? These are all little tactics and things that you learn in communities like that. They teach you the skills to be successful. I'm not saying that every community is like that. And obviously I'm biased because I love Brands Meet Creators, but just encourage you to check one out that you vibe with, because when you are having those really hard days, I promise you, it is going to be so, so nice to be able to just open up a supportive group chat and just talk about how everything's going. And everyone, I feel like in this community is just, oh, I'm so thankful. Everyone is just so kind and so, so supportive. Oh, and if you're not on X, highly recommend jumping on there. There are so many creators sharing really cool pieces of work that they've done. I love seeing those because I always get very inspired. There's brands that are posting about looking for creators. There's agencies. There's like a lot of different people to connect with. And I know that I feel like X right now is not as hot because everything that's like video first is kind of in the limelight, but highly recommend jumping on the X train. You can always just, scroll it when you're bored. All right, number 5, last tip of the day for you guys. So I want you to do a little bit of studying, right? At the beginning, I said do a little bit of homework. With that, just kind of understand the basic concept of what makes good content. There are a lot of people out there that will tell you to start studying like successful ads and understand why content went viral. All of that will definitely come down the line, but we are talking about like week or month 1. So you are right at the beginning. You are just trying to figure out if this is something that you would love to do. The basic framework of any great piece of content is typically made up of 3 parts. I'm sure you guys have maybe seen this before, but it is a hook. So a hook is the thing that just grabs the audience's attention. And a hook could be something verbal, right? Like someone says something crazy. I put a hook at the beginning of this video to have you guys keep watching. A hook could literally be you jumping into frame. A hook could be you talking while you're putting on your lipstick. There are so many different ways to do it. A hook could literally be something that is on screen. So you have so many options there. But anyway, so you have a hook. Then you have the body of the video, right? Just kind of sharing about the product. This could be the features of the product, the benefits, how might someone feel when they use the product, for example. Little tip with the body, what I will tell you is something that I wish I could have wrapped my head around more, is that I see a lot of creators who will be like, here is this mug and I love it because it's a pretty matte black and you can put it in the dishwasher and it keeps my beverage hot for 3 hours. Instead, because you're talking about creating videos, you need to figure out how to take all those things that you just listed out in your body and actually visually show them. So maybe it's a clip of you sticking the mug in the dishwasher. Maybe it's you grabbing it out of your cabinet so people can see the color of it. Maybe it's you working. It's a time lapse of you working and you still see steam coming out of your cup, right? Hope you guys get my point. Now, the last part of the video is the CTA. So CTA stands for call to action, right? So what do you want the viewer to do when they are done watching your video? Is it going to be to like and subscribe? Is it going to be to click that orange cart link on TikTok Shop? Is it going to be to swipe up? Is it going to be to DM you a word? Is it going to be to give you a follow on Instagram, right? There are so many different things that you can use for your call to action, but almost all great content typically ends with a strong call to action. I will actually just roll two examples here of very different types of content. So one of them is actually a UGC video. So let's watch the UGC video first and pay attention to my hook, the body, and the call to action.
Did you know that 30% of American adults sleep less than 7 hours a night? Here's how to do better.
Opt for quality bedding that is breathable and cozy. I love my Luxe Sateen set from Brooklinen. It feels like a hotel bed and has honestly made a huge difference in my sleep quality. Instead of scrolling on my phone, I love cozying up in my Brooklinen sheets with my favorite book. These sheets are so soft, they make me look forward to this moment every day. Pick a fabric that allows you to rest through the night without feeling too hot or cold. I can tell my Brooklinen sheets are so thoughtfully constructed with premium cotton. They're buttery soft and I wake up energized and ready to start the day. Sleep is essential to everyone's well-being, so go check out Brooklinen today and let's take care of ourselves together this year.
I'm going to show you one for one of my TikTok shop videos. Again, hook, body, call to action.
I think this is kind of sus, but have you guys ever noticed that there's never any honey at hospitals? Pretty convinced that they don't want us to know about all of the benefits, especially Manuka honey. If you guys don't know, Manuka honey is so good for so many things. I was always taught this, but raw Manuka honey has so many benefits for helping you heal if you are coming back from like a cold or something. You can obviously ingest it, but you can even like put it on your face like a face mask. One thing you do have to be careful about though is that it should have a minimum of 100 mgo, and this one has 115, so we are good. But it is hard to kind of find sometimes. I was at a farmer's market here in LA, and I went to like 4 different booths and they didn't have it. This comes from New Zealand, and let me just show you guys the texture because it is a little bit thicker than normal. If you guys are into this kind of stuff, I found this brand on TikTok Shop, believe it or not, so I'll link it right here. But they should say a little bit of honey a day keeps the doctor away. Oh shoot, my hair's stuck in it.
Okay, so I think that is pretty much it. Hopefully that makes sense. You were taking notes. If you guys have any questions at all, feel free to drop them below in the comments. I will link everything I talked about in the video as well. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one.